I detect a quorum, at least I think we have a quorum, and with that, we will bring the January 29, 2026 Benefits and Insurance Committee to order. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here.
Amber Brown. Holly Deering.
Here.
Brian Gaither. Here. Mary Hickerson.
Here.
Lois Miller.
Here.
Commissioner McAdoo.
Here.
Commissioner Phillips. Here. Jennifer Schmidt. Michael Smith.
Here.
Steve Spence. Here. Sonia Stevenson.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Madam Vice Chair, thank you for warming the chair of the chair. Have you had an opportunity to review the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yes, sir, I have, and I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Public comments? Anybody? Thank you. Item number 4, Mr. Elam.
Yes, sir. So item number 4, we have a county general employee member, time that has expired. And so we put out for applications. We had 3 people to return their applications. You should have those in front of you or receive them in your packet. That was emailed out. At this time, Mr. Chairman, what we normally do is if one of them would like, or all would like to come up and speak, give a presentation, then that's what's been done in the past to allow. So whatever your...
If there is no objection, we will go out of session and recognize the 3 applicants. Are they all here, Mr. Elam?
I believe so.
Okay. Do you have that list of names?
I do, sir.
So if there's no objection, Mr. Elam, if you'll call each applicant up, if they want to speak, that would be great. And you have 3 minutes.
Okay. We'll go in alphabetical order. Mr. Jarrett Bonner, I believe.
A familiar face.
Thank you, members of the committee, Mr. Chair. Jared Bonar, I've been with the county for just a little over a year, working planning and engineering just across the street. Just heard about the vacancy and thought it was something that pertained to me and my children, so I thought I would attempt to get my voice out there and be on the committee. So thank you all.
Thank you. I assume there are no questions since he stepped away from the podium. Thank you. Mr. Elam, next.
Okay. Next, we have Hillary Brown.
Oh, she's got prepared remarks. I love it. You're recognized.
All right. Hi, my name is Hillary Brown. I am the admin support 2 at the archives. I haven't even started. I have been with the county for 7.5 years, and while my job technically has absolutely nothing to do with healthcare, I have been surrounded by healthcare my entire life. My mom and my grandma both worked at MTMC, and I spent a lot of time there with them growing up. And kind of what started it all, when I was 6, I had a mass on my leg and had to be biopsied at Vandy, and it was benign. But ever since then, I wanted to be a nurse at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. And that shaped my whole education. And in high school, I took Latin and all the anatomy classes that I could. And after I graduated high school, I did the EMTIV course through MTSU in the county with Randy and Stephanie back in the day. When I got to Motlow to get my AS, I was on the nursing track until I got to dosage calculations and was like, no, I don't want to do math my entire life, so I switched to history. Though I don't use any of my medical experience professionally anymore, little did I know that God was setting me up to be the parent of a medically complex child. Our daughter has a brain malformation, she has multiple congenital heart defects, and a whole host of other medical complexities. She's had multiple surgeries, including 2 open heart surgeries, multiple trips to the cath lab. She has a GJ. She recently had airway reconstruction, and she's on home oxygen. She was born at 33 weeks and was in the NICU at Vanderbilt for 7 months. And she will actually be 3 in a week and a half, and doctors said she wouldn't even make it out of the emergency C-section alive. So she is, and here we are, almost 3 years later. So she's proof in the power of prayer. These last 3 years while caring for our daughter, I have had to advocate for her, not only at the hospital and with specialists, but with insurance companies, billing departments, DMEs, medical suppliers, formula manufacturers, and you name it, I've probably talked to them. And so I have had to use my medical knowledge to fight and be the voice for our daughter. When I advocate, not just for my daughter, I try to advocate for all the children who have these issues, like, if I'm talking to a formula manufacturer or whatever. And so when I advocate, I not just advocate for our family, but for all the families. And I know we cannot be the only family. Is it 3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. You can say salutations.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that was quick. Any questions for Ms. Brown? Thank you very, very much. Our final applicant is Mr.
Yes, our final applicant is Mike Curtis.
You have 3 minutes, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm the person rolling off, and I wanted to stay on with the committee and continue my good work that I've done with you all. Just a brief history with me, I'm 36 years working for the county. I'm the GIS manager, Geographic Information Systems, all the computerized mapping that everybody uses for everything, and manage a $1 to $2 million budget depending on how the commission funds it every year. And I'd like to stay on. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. That concludes the applicants, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Elam, I think the way I would like to do this, with your concurrence, is each member of the committee, you're giving me a high sign. Mr. Chairman, please.
I'd like to nominate all 3 and vote for 1.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That's a proper form. What I would propose is that we vote for 2 and narrow it down to 2, and then from those 2, pick 1. Is there any objection to that process? Seeing none. Mr. Chairman, did you have a question? No. Lacey, what you'll do is you'll call the roll for each member of the committee. They will give you 2 last names, and you'll take a count, and then we'll do a final vote off of those 2 last names. Okay? Is there any objection? Seeing none, Lacey, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Boyd? Amber Brown? Holly Deering? Brian Gaither? I'm sorry, Brown and Curtis. Brian Gaither? Mary Hickerson?
Curtis and Bonar.
Lois Miller?
Brown and Curtis.
Commissioner McAdoo?
Brown and Curtis.
Commissioner Phillips?
Bonner and Curtis.
Michael Smith?
Bonner and Curtis.
Steve Spence?
Brown and Curtis.
Sonia Stevenson?
Brown and Curtis.
Okay, that's it. Will be Hillary Brown and Mike Curtis.
Okay, so those are the final 2. So will the committee will make a determination from those 2 applicants, Brown and Curtis. If the committee is ready, Lacey, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Boyd?
Curtis.
Holly Deering?
Curtis.
Brian Gaither? Mary Hickerson?
Curtis.
Lois Miller. Commissioner McAdoo. Commissioner Phillips. Michael Smith. Steve Spence. And Sonia Stevenson. Curtis.
Congratulations, Mr. Curtis. You have been reappointed. It appears to be unanimous, which is a rare thing on any committee or commission. So congratulations, and you can take your seat. Thank you, Mr. Brown and Mr. Bonner, for participating. We genuinely appreciate it, and we hope that you apply for other positions as they become available. Your service is appreciated. Thank you very, very much. If there is no objection, Mr. Elam, we're going to move to the next item on our agenda. I think you're recognized in that. The financials, please.
Yes, sir. So the month of December for the calendar year 2025, you have revenue at $2,433,955, expenditures at $2,681,455. Total for the calendar year, $24,716,747 in revenue. Expenditures, $29,894,438. Expenditures, revenue less expenditures, a negative $5,177,691. And for the fiscal year comparison for the total, you have revenue $12,281,967, expenditures $15,840,920, revenue less expenditures a negative $3,558,954. For the 266 fund, for the month of December, workers' comp, you have $1,226.78. For OJI, you have $60,438.82. Total for the month of December is $61,665.60. And for the total for the fiscal years, for workers' comp, $130,194.75. OJI, $548,622.93. Total for the year-to-date total is $678,817.68. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Elam. Any questions for Mr. Elam on the financials? We have a proper motion for approval. Let me get a second, and I'll come back to you, Sonia. We have a second. Sonia, you're recognized for discussion.
Okay, sorry. I was
That's all
trying to
right.
make sure it was green. And we've probably talked about this, but I forgot. In October, was there something, that October claim for workers' comp, did that close out a claim, or is that still one of the ongoing running claims for workers' comp, the $123,441.80?
Oh, the claim, are we talking about a specific claim?
No,
Or are we just talking about because of the month?
because of the month.
Okay. And without having the data in front of me, I believe that month there was a particular claim. And in these numbers, what you won't see is we pay the claim first, then we'll go back to the insurance companies if we're not at fault. And I believe in that particular month, there was an incident that we will subrogate back to the insurance company due to the incident. So you will see some reimbursements, but a lot of times that may not come for a year or two after the incident itself.
So that was for prior, because we're not on workers' comp anymore, so that payout was from,
On the workers' comp you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Yes.
about. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of a different incident. So on the workers' comp, we still have claims because they didn't accept a settlement. And so if they have something come up due to, and it's determined that it was because of the workers' comp claim, then the county still has to pay
Gotcha.
medical bills
Okay.
for it.
Okay. I was hoping that was one that was closing out or something, and we'd be over it. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Elam on the financials? Seeing none without objection, Lacey, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Boyd? Yes. Amber Brown? Mike Curtis?
Yes.
Holly Deering?
Yes.
Brian Gaither? Mary Hickerson? Lois Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner McAdoo? Yes. Commissioner Phillips?
Yes.
Michael Smith? Yes. Steve Spence? Yes. Sonia Stevenson?
Thank you, Lacey. Motion passes. Number 6, OSHA report. Mr. Elam.
Yes, sir. So for the month of December 2025, we had a total of 19 claims. For Board of Ed, we had 11. For County General, we had 8. Highway Department had 0. And for the County General, 1 was building codes, 1 was JDC, Juvenile Detention Center, and 5 was from the Sheriff's Department, and 1 was solid waste. The incident frequency year-to-date, you have 236. Total recordables, 185. Lost day claims, 47. Restricted day claims, 103. Other recordables, 35. The reserves is 65,548 for the month. Year-to-date reserves, 1,056,586. And year-to-date paid is 668,443. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Questions, comments for Mr. Elam on the OSHA report? Mary, you're recognized.
Okay, Mr. Elam, looking at this, the year-to-date reserves, just because you said the number out loud, it was over $1 million. That is mainly for everybody, and to refresh my mind, that is money that is put aside. That doesn't mean it is being spent or is potential of being spent. That's what we project a claim or the claims will reach, right? This is not guaranteed money out the door.
That is correct. And to go back to Mrs. Stevenson's, that was my comment with her, is that some of these claims, we pay the claim because it's an OJI claim. We pay all the claims, and then we go back and we will subrogate and get some of that money back. It just may be a year or two later. And so this is just to show, for budgeting standpoints, for Mr. Smith, is to show this, like you were saying, this is the potential. There are other things that go into play with that. When we get from our TPA, this is what we think the average claim is. But again, a good shout out to Jane Corbin and Susan Thompson. We're a little bit different because we call that employee, we get them into an MRI, we get them back to work, and we also, the department heads and elected officials in the schools do a fabulous job getting these people back on restricted duty. Most all the time the employee wants to come back, and so we're able to reduce the cost of those claims due to that relationship.
Perfect. Thank you. And if nobody has any other questions, motion to approve the report as presented.
We have a motion and a proper second. Before we vote on this, I have a question, and this is probably, you're not going to be able to answer it, Ed, because your report was with regard to December OJI claims. Do we have, can you manage the expectation of the committee about what the OJI claims, did we see a jump in as a result of the recent weather event? I know you may not be able to answer that, and it's catching you off guard, so if you need to hold that for the February meeting, I understand, but because I am catching you off guard a little bit.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of a preview to the February meeting.
If you don't mind. Because there's a reason why I'm asking.
Well, in these numbers, you also have the Board of Education. So with schools out, those numbers aren't going to be as high and they haven't come back in. And because I think their good judgment of being out and letting all the ice melt, I think we will have a reduction compared to sometimes in years past. You get on the north side of a building and there's still ice there.
It's always problematic.
It's always problematic, but you have to conduct business, and you have to get kids back in school. This year, I think the timing of things, with the schools being out the entire week, And it's a different kind of weather. I mean, you don't slip as much on snow as you do ice. We have had an uptick in some claims, but it's not one of those where somebody's broken a leg or broken an arm or anything like that.
Thank you for that. And if you would, if I could just put a bug in your ear, when you come in February with the January report, if you can just kind of isolate this particular event, because what I'm trying to determine is when we have a ice event, what else better can we do to A, prepare for it, and B, mitigate the risk if we've seen a substantial uptick in those OGIA claims as a result of the weather. And I think it would be good for us to kind of get in front of that a little bit if we can.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Any other questions from the committee for Mr. Elam? I think we have a motion. Did we get a second? We did? Okay. All those in favor of approving the report, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The report's approved. Thank you, Mr. Elam. We're now to the wellness report. Ms. Howell.
We are wrapping up our prior point accumulation period. So for the period of October 2024 through September 2025, there were a total of 3,261 wellness points earned and 695 wellness goals met. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Howell on the wellness report? Seeing none, if there is no objection, we will accept. Thank you, Ms. Howell. Number 8, Cigna network updates. Mr. Huffman, you are recognized without objection. By the way, I'm healing fine.
I love it.
And Cigna was great.
I love to hear that.
I'm not just saying that.
You look great.
I'm feeling great, and I wouldn't let you know otherwise.
All right. That's awesome. Paul Huffman with Cigna Healthcare. Just Mr. Elam asked me to give you a quick update on some network contracted resolutions that we had. Last month I mentioned 2. One was Tenet Health, which is a national ancillary carrier. Pleased to inform you that we did maintain them in network. We resolved that situation, and that termination was rescinded. So there's been no impact to the handful of members that were that had utilized that provider. The other good news is Sumner Regional. We also resolved that one before they went out of network. That one, another one, that was one that we had just about 7, maybe a handful of members that had utilized that provider. So there was no disruption. Third, we mentioned a couple of months that LifePoint, which owns Sumner Regional, had gone out of network. Well, we got them to come back. So we have a contract with LifePoint. They'll be back in network as of February 15th. And that was about 23 members in the Rutherford County population that utilized that provider. So real good news there. The last one is a new one. It's East Tennessee Children's Hospital, or Pediatrics, Partners in Peds in East Tennessee. So occasionally you might have someone traveling, or maybe some retirees that may have utilized that provider over the last 18 months. There was only 7 people impacted. We are negotiating with them, and we do anticipate that one going to the last minute. I believe that's a March 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I'll pull that up just to make sure. I think that's right. Yeah, if it's not, March 1st. So I'll give you an update on that one as we get closer, but good news on the other 3. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Huffman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That takes us to item 9, which is other business. Is there any other business before the committee? Yes, Mr. Elam.
I did just want to mention one thing, that the RFPs has gone out, has been advertised, and that is medical, dental, vision, pharmacy, stop loss, HSA, COBRA. We're also doing EAP because some carriers have the EAP built into theirs too. So, and this is something we're going to work with Mrs. Stevenson on, trying to make sure that it fits what Rutherford County wants. We get the best product to work with. So those are out, and I think the opening bid date is March the 10th. That will be with the purchasing committee, and I will say I sure hope they don't make a decision that day because when they open that up, there's a lot of stuff to dissect. So I just anticipated being open, and hopefully it'll be taken under advisement at that time.
Did you hear that, Chairman Phillips? I did, loud and clear.
I was speaking to Chairman Cards, who I was speaking to.
Well, let me, since we're still on to other business, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let
For
me,
now.
just a personal privilege. I've observed Chairman Phillips run the county commission for 3.5 years, and one of the things that I've come to appreciate about his leadership is that he never fails to recognize those employees in the county and the members of that body in recognition for their work. And I just want to say I think this is appropriate. I've had a chance to work with Ed for 3.5 years and his team, and I don't believe all the committees that I get to chair, there are 5, there's not one that is more organized and prepared than this one. And they're all very well organized and very well prepared. So, Ed, you have an outstanding team, and I just want to publicly acknowledge your leadership and your team, and you do a great job. And on behalf of this committee, we appreciate your work. So, thank you very, very much.
Well, I think you, can I speak?
I guess. Do we have a choice? Does the committee have a choice?
I do have an awesome group of people. I do, and I think the greatest thing, the asset that they bring is that they work with department heads, they work with principals, they work with commissioners, and it's not something that I take for granted. There's a lot of things that happen. I think about in this committee, just looking up, we have the highway department, we have EMS, we have the sheriff's department. And I know what they've been through for the last several days here. And so when they call, and we've had a couple of injuries, but I mean, their call was returned, even though we were at home, that call was returned because they had, we had somebody on call to take care of it and to get them treated as quickly as possible. And so, my organization, because they work so well with us in trying to interact with their employees, and we all share that interest of taking care of employees. And I couldn't do it without the cooperation of the department heads also and the elected officials and the school board.
Thank you. And on behalf of the committee, thank you. And if the committee would like to speak up now, would be appropriate. Yes, Brian, you're recognized. You don't ever speak. This is a rather significant moment in the life of this committee. Mr. Gaither is recognized.
Yeah, I think this is the second time. So I will say with what Ed just said, my call wasn't returned, it was answered. So, and it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And fantastic job, and I agree with the working relationship. It's nice to be able to call up there and get to a resolution quickly. I really had a comment, and Ed in his office is well aware of this, but and it's a failure on my part, but we had some changes with some ancillary products, and I know it went through this committee. I know I heard it. I failed to spread that information to our staff. So I wanted to see going forward, if we have that kind of change, if we can maybe get something other than, because if we're being honest, although the open enrollment video was very informative and very helpful, very few people watched it. So if we have those type changes, if we could just like bullet point some of that stuff so we could send it out to our staff, I think it'd be very helpful.
Mr. Elam, would you like to respond?
Yeah, and so we try to be very careful of how many emails go out, and those people that don't have those products and bombard them with information. We try to select to each one that is interested in the product or already has it. And everybody's inundated with emails and stuff. And that's one of the reasons why when someone says, do I have to go in? Do I have to go in and do anything? We always encourage you, even if you don't want to make any changes, that's where for open enrollment, a lot of the information is, and it tells them, it's an educational piece. That's the book, that's the video, and then also to make appointments with us, and we can easily walk you through it.
And that comment was not a failure on risk management. It was me. I heard it, and I just didn't relay it. So I should have paid more attention in this meeting. Maybe I should speak more than I do. But
Well, the chair can satisfy that request, Mr. Gaither. No question about it. Again, there are several things that I've learned from our esteemed county commission chairman, and one of those is you can call on people even when they don't want to be recognized. Any other business before the committee? Mr. Chairman, I've invoked your name 3 times now, and you've sat quietly, patiently. Would you like to respond to any of my offhand remarks? Oh, Sonia, you're recognized. Thank you, Michael.
Others may know this already, but this time when with the ice storm, we found more businesses closed than normal. A lot of times when school is out for snow, you'll still have a walk-in clinic or something like that open. For the purpose of the committee to hear this and for the people listening, in a situation where walk-in clinics are closed and a department has an on-the-job injury, of course, they know to call Jane or Susan, but as a department head, if we're working in the moment trying to get that person's care, even though it's something that we normally would take to one of the
Panel of physicians?
there you go, thank you. If that's not available, if none of those operations are open during an event like we just had, is it acceptable to take them to the ER? Will that still be covered if we know that those others were called?
Yes, yes. And just recently, I think back in September or October, I think Jane visited every school and every department and went over some of those things because we're trying to get it electronically. We're also trying to get it that it's, you don't plan for an accident, but you want to have it right in front of you so you're prepared for it. So yes, to answer your question, you are able to go to the emergency room because you have no other choice, and we want you cared for and taken care of. We would hate for somebody to sit at home waiting for a clinic to open up.
Thank you, Ed. Any other questions under business? Oh, Mary, you're recognized. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. I just was wondering if we could get just a little bit of update or a little snippet from Ed or the young ladies. Where are we at, and have you had any feedback, good or bad, on our retirees switching to the new Medicare Advantage?
Humana.
We have, Humana, thank you. And the response of being able to work with the retiree first. Do we have any kind of little feedback, or good or bad?
Molly, you want to take this one?
I can. We have heard from several retirees who have worked with Retiree First and are really enjoying the experience. They like having somebody to talk to when they call. They like being able to talk to the same person. Retiree First will make a ticket essentially for the issue and call the retiree back once it has been resolved or they've taken the next step. So yeah, we've heard a lot of good things from retirees, a lot of really encouraging things from retirees and from Retiree First as well. They've given us a breakdown of their statistics, the retirees that they've worked with over this last quarter, starting in September when we sent out the information. It's all just been really positive.
And if I could just kind of dissect that for just a second. The difference in Retiree First and us, because some retirees have said, oh, we're losing risk management, we're going to Retiree First. That's not quite true. What Retiree First does, since they're under Humana, a subcontract, like a subcontractor out of Humana, Retiree First can help the retiree with claims and things. Our office, because of privacy laws, we're not able to be the person with the physician or the facility, the provider, and be the in-between person where Retiree First is able to. And so the feedback, to piggyback on Molly, the feedback has been, thank you so much, because I was having to go back to my provider over and over again, and now I've got somebody who will be an advocate to say, hey, here's what's going on, here's the problem, and we're really seeing really good feedback with that relationship.
Just to add on to that, and mainly because I just flat out can't remember, are we getting quarterly report or anything from the Retiree First saying we talked to 20 of your 100, I'm just using round numbers, 20 of your 100 and all was good, or we are getting some kind of feedback quarterly, monthly, or something?
Well, technically, they started January 1, but they also took a lot on them prior to that with the understanding they were starting January 1. So they helped in the transition quite a bit. I think we've just received our first report just recently. I haven't really dissected it because of the weather and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, we had our first quarterly meeting with them last week. Like Ed said, even though they came on 1/1, they have been working with our retirees since September. And we have set up a quarterly cadence with them going forward to kind of review. They have a, I'm having feedback here and I'm not sure why. They have a report packet that they can put together with the statistics that you're talking about that they'll be sending us each quarter.
Thank you.
Anyone else under other business? Seeing none, our next meeting is February 26, 2026. If there are no objections, we're adjourned. Thank you.